walking by that building early this morning was Nicholas Balboa. Nicholas was walking his dog and spotted that little boy we showed you and saved him. He was an eyewitness to the morning's collapse. He helped with direct rescuers to this harrowing moment that we showed you at the top of this newscast of the young boy being pulled out of that rubble. Nicholas was going to be with us here on scene this evening, but he's had a very long day, and his Wi-Fi is not working, so he's on the phone with us now. Nicholas, if you could, take us back to the early morning hours here in Surfside and what it was you were doing and what you saw and heard.
Sure. Well, thank you for having me. So I'm visiting from Phoenix, my father who lives here in Surfside. So I was walking my dog, and I'm on 89th and Hardy, just a little bit away from the building, and I hear what sounded like thunder, and I felt the ground tremble. So I thought maybe a storm might be rolling in or something like that. And about 30 seconds to a minute later, it happens again, this time a little bit more pronounced, and the ground just completely shakes. So something just told me something wasn't right. So I brought, my dog back upstairs, came back down, and I saw people were coming outside and heading down the street. So I decided to follow. So as I approached the building, I could see that, some of the balconies had fallen. So I didn't quite get a true idea of the damage and the devastation until after the fire crew started to push people back. And I decided to move around one of the apartment buildings that were just north of the building, and walk along the side, or the backside along the beach. When I got to the building,
How did you happen, Nicholas, to spot that little...
was just demolished.
Ugh. How did you happen to spot the little boy in that dramatic rescue early this morning?
So when I got to the backside of the building, there were no police or fire presence. So I was able to kind of just move freely around and kind of, examine and investigate kind of like the area. And as I moved closer, I could hear somebody making noise and yelling. And so I started to get close to the building and climb, into the debris. And I could hear him and, saying that he was over there, and I could see his arm sticking up through the debris and waving his hand. So that's when I told him I see him, and continue. And
then you directed the firefighters in there, right?
Yeah. So it took them a minute to get there. It took them actually quite a few. It was about 10 minutes before they got there. So he was just saying, "Please don't leave me. Please don't leave me." And I told him that we weren't going to leave him. Oh. So it was myself and one other person. So we were there. We felt like we could get to him. It didn't feel right to just leave him, especially hearing that his voice was just so young.
Nicholas Balboa, who spotted the one person we know who was actually pulled out of the rubble. Nicholas, thanks so much for your time. All the best to you and your family. Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.